Alright guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be taking this pipe right here, this muffler, and burning the carbon out of it. I looked up a few videos on how to do it, and most people recommended doing it with a heat gun. So I bought this heat gun. It goes up to 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit, so that should do the job. What you do is stick the heat gun in the end of the pipe. It heats up, and it burns off all the carbon. In the video I watched, there's actually flames coming out of the pipe for like 5 minutes, and then it burned up all the carbon. So we'll try that. If that doesn't work, we'll just slap it back on the bike and maybe order a new one. I'm not sure. Or what a lot of people do is make a fire and just throw that in there when the coals get really hot, and technically it should burn it off too. So I don't know. We'll try both methods and see what works, but I'm pretty sure the heat gun's gonna work. Also, if you guys go to the forum at 2vintagerider.com. Voting begins today on the bikes. So if you submitted your bike, you should be able to see your bike and the votes down below the page on the forum. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom, all the bikes will be posted on the bottom of the page, and you can vote up to 3 times. So I'm going to set the limit to 3 votes. So each person gets 3 votes. Vote for your favorite bike, and the bike with the most votes will get the gift card and the shout out at the end of the month. So if you guys want to go vote, you get 3 votes, and then you're done. So that will be at the bottom of the page on the 2 Vintage Rider forum. Also, last video we took this thing for a ride. As you guys know, it was super loud. A lot of people said it was still running really, really rich. So today we're also going to look at the carburetor and maybe move the needle in it, and then take a look at the jets and see what new jets we need to order. Other than that, it runs pretty good. We need to order a new chain and stuff. I was pretty busy this week, so I did not get a chance to do that yet. So yeah, we're still waiting for the chain and the sprockets to come. But yeah, so I think we should get going on the pipe, try to burn that off, and then work on the carburetor. And we also have to bleed the brakes correctly. Last time I kind of rushed through it, but to bleed the brakes, a lot of people were like, oh, you don't know how to do it. So I'll walk you through the process of that quick. So what I usually do for brakes is I take a tube, I take a gas line, plug one gas line into this while this is unscrewed, put the other gas line into a filled up water bottle with water so that no air can escape. And what you do is put this line in there, put the other part in the water, and then pump the brake until there's a smooth line of brake fluid going down the pipe into the water bottle. And then when it's, you know, a smooth line, you tighten it off, and then usually there's no air in the system then, and then, you know, the brakes work a lot better. So right now there's probably air in the system because I did not use the water bottle method because I just kind of rushed through it. So that's definitely why they don't work as well as they should. So we'll fix that as well today, even though the front brakes are working a lot better now. The back ones, as you guys know, I fixed those too. We put new brake pads in the back, and actually those are working pretty well too, but we'll re-bleed them and see what happens. So let's get going on the heat gun and the muffler, see if that works. Alright guys, so I got this thing all set up. What I did was take some fireproof material, wrap it up so that the gun could attach to the muffler here, and that should work because it's pretty tight, and this stuff is pretty good. I used this for the forge I made a while back, and that stuff is like fireproof. So this should be pretty good setup. It's pretty much airtight, so we shouldn't have a problem. I'm going to lay this on like a piece of rock or something just so that it doesn't start a fire, and I think we should be good there. So let's give this a shot. Hopefully it works. I'm guessing it's going to take a while to warm up here, but hopefully this does the trick. Alright guys, so here's what we've got set up here. We've got a metal plate on this piece of wood so it doesn't burn the grass or anything, and then we've got another piece of wood that's pretty much flame proof here. It's coated with this stuff. It's from the railroad tracks. So that piece of wood is pretty good. I don't think it'll burn through or anything or start on fire. So the gun is going to the attachment, which is going to the pipe, and the pipe should burn everything off and we should be good to go. So let's see what happens. turn this guy on. I'm guessing that's the high setting. There we go. So we'll let that heat up and I'll be back. Hopefully it'll be shooting out smoke by the time I get back here. Alright guys, it's been about a minute and the pipe is already hot to the touch. At least the pipe going to the muffler part. It's really, really hot and I can barely put my hand on it. So that didn't take long at all. And I can start to smell some burning going on. You can see burning coming through here, which is very interesting. Hope it doesn't burn through or anything. But yeah, this is getting pretty hot. This part isn't getting too hot, but it is getting a little bit warm. And you can feel the air coming out of the tip of it. Alright guys, it's been like 2 minutes and the top of the pipe just started to smoke. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, it's very faint, but it should start really amping up here. Alright guys, it's really, really blowing out smoke now and you can hear it, it like started on fire in there. It's crazy. So, it's really working, look at that. Oh man, it's gonna like blow up here. I'll back up I think a little bit. Holy cow, look at that thing go. Alright guys, while we wait for the pipe to get done, we're gonna go work on the brakes a little bit and try to bleed those to make those work a little bit better. So let's head in here where we're out of the wind and we'll bleed the front brakes first just because actually front brakes are pretty good. I might bleed the back brake first, I think. So what we need is a water bottle. Perfect, right here. Full of water. Just make sure this is not... Just to make sure the heat gun's not going to fall off of there and burn the grass. But what we need is a water bottle right here. Got the bottle. We need some line like this. And let's see if this is going to be long enough. We might have to grab some new line. Alright guys, so this is the brake bleeding setup. So I've got a line connected to the tube where the brake fluid comes out of, all the way to a water bottle filled with water. That's very important. And then I put a little hole in the cap and then put the tube in there so it would stay in the water. So now we're going to take an 8mm and loosen up the bolt with the line on it, and then we're going to pump the brake a couple times and make sure fluid is coming out in a direct stream so that there's no air bubbles in it. And then once it is, we're going to twist the 8mm tight and block off the brake fluid, and that should be good to go. So you'll see me do it here pretty quick. Alright, so we'll loosen up the 8mm right here. Pump the brake a couple times. See how the line is now filled? Now we tighten it up. Now the brakes are nice and tight. There's no play in it now, and yeah, the brakes work perfect. So basically what the water does is prevent air bubbles from going back into the line. So yeah, that's how you bleed brakes. Now we'll move on to the front ones and do those. Alright guys, so I bled the front brakes. Those are really, really good now. As you can see, they're pretty stiff in here. That's as far back as it goes, so it's not squishy at all. I mean, it instantly stops. Like, look at that. So, the brakes are all bled now. Hopefully that's a lot better. We're going to look at the carburetor next and try to sort that out because it is running a little bit rich. So, I don't know if I have the correct jets for this thing, but we'll see. And then we're going to adjust the needle and the air screw, and hopefully that works. Yeah, then we'll take it for a rip, test it out, and yeah, the pipe actually just stopped smoking, so I think that's done as well. So let's go check out the pipe and see if it's done smoking here. Because once it's done smoking, that means all the oil and carbon is burnt out of it. It's a little bit windy too, so bear with the wind. Yup, the pipe is done smoking, so the carbon must be burnt out of it. I think I let it run for about 20 minutes, so hopefully it's all out of there. Alright, now that the pipe is done burning off the carbon, we're going to work on the carburetor a little bit. So for the needle, to make it more lean, we're going to lower down the needle. So we're going to put the needle down lower in the carburetor. So technically the notch has to go up then, if we're going to lower the needle. So we're going to put the notch up a couple notches on the needle, and that will lower it down, which will prevent less fuel from going into the carburetor. Okay, so, and then with the air screw, this is for the pilot jet. So we're going to lean out the mixture because I think the pilot jet is from 0 to 1/4 throttle. So we're going to twist the air screw out, which will make more air go in, and that will lean out the mixture. So that's the plan. Let's zoom in on the carburetor and quick do those two things. And then we'll take a peek at the pilot jet and the main jet and see what those are running. So let's twist the air screw out here a little bit. So we were at 1 3/4 before, so I twisted it out to 2.5. So that should make a little bit of a difference. And now we're going to take off the carburetor and get to the needle and see what the notches are at, and then put the notches 2 notches up. Alright, so the needle notch is directly in the middle. So we're going to raise the needle notch 2 notches and then put this thing back in, and then take this thing for a test drive. So hopefully this fixes the lean mixture along with the air mixture screw, because first, second, and third gear was really, really bad in this, and then it would open up. So we'll see. It could be the main jet too, so we'll take a peek at the main jet as well, since we have the carburetor already tilted off the bike. So we'll see what happens. Alright guys, so we just put the needle down more in the carburetor. We twisted out the air screw a little bit more, maybe like 3/4 turn more, and I looked at the main jet, and the main jet, I did not have any. The highest jets I had in this little bag were 160 for the main, so I'm gonna have to order some new ones that are like 250, 245 in that range, because the one I'm running right now is 260, and it definitely needs to be lowered. But let's see if this leans it out a little bit. Also, I'm going to take off the air box cap and just see if that makes a difference. But we're going to put the pipe back on, see if the pipe is cleared out, and hopefully it runs better. Alright guys, so got the carburetor all tuned up, got the pipe back on. As you guys saw, it blew out a bunch of crap, so that was good. Just the idle a little bit more down. Right there, sounds pretty good. But yeah, let's take it for a ride, see if it opens up a little bit. Sounds like it's going to. Sounds pretty peppy right now. We'll see though. Ooh, a little wet. Oh yeah, it does. It's a little bit better. We're in second gear right now, so we'll rip her down the road, see if she opens up a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So the pipe worked. The carbon came out of the pipe and it seems to open up now with the muffler on, so that's really good. Afraid this chain's gonna fall off. That's why I'm kind of being a little iffy on the throttle here. I don't like it not knowing if the chain's gonna fall off or not. Oh, wet. Woo. Woo, she's a little wet back here. Oh, baby. Oh, whew. Whew, super wet. Yeah, she opens up pretty good now. Let's see. Look at that. Dang. Yeah, baby. I'd say she's pretty good. That is not too shabby. See if she kind of wheelies. Oh yeah, she'll pop up. Oh, baby. Oh yeah, a lot peppier on the throttle now. So that seemed to work a lot better. So it was really rich before, and having the pipe cleared out helped, and it seems like it's just ripping really good now. Look at this. Look at that throttle response. Remember, if you guys remember before, it would not get on the throttle at all. So this is a huge improvement for it. Watch this. So that's awesome. I'll do off the gun here and test it. See if you guys think it's different. So 3, 2, 1, go. A lot better than before. Alright, so we just got done with the ride on this thing. Obviously it ran a lot better. Last ride you could just feel it like brr 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 and it wouldn't lift up in any gear. This one, now it'll wheelie, which is awesome. So it's a lot peppier and you can get up to speed a lot quicker. Obviously the pipe must have worked, so we burnt out all the carbon, and when I first started it up, you could see all the gray smoke pumping out. I think that was all the carbon deposits just blowing out of there. But yeah, so it definitely worked. Brakes work great too. They're just like really solid now. So I mean, they're really good. Back one works as well. And yeah, so it was overall a pretty successful ride. Everything worked out perfectly. So next video, I hope we're gonna have the chain and sprocket. We'll see what happens. Make sure to go leave your vote on Bike of the Month for a chance to win $20 and a shout out on the channel. Yeah, anyway, leave a comment down below if you guys think this thing is running better. I definitely think it is, and it definitely sounds a lot better too. But anyway, my Instagram is 2_vintage_. If you guys want to go follow behind the scenes, you can go check out the pipe and stuff I did on there. It's pretty insane what happened with the pipe. But yeah, go check that out on the behind the scenes Instagram. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll catch you on the next one.